And if you lie to yourself, it's harder to come out of it.
Well, yeah, when you lie to yourself, you believe it. So, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When you lie to yourself, you believe it.
Yeah. I mean,
So, you know
yeah.
what? We used to say, fake it till you make it.
Uh-huh.
There used to be that line
Yeah.
where
It's still there.
it's still there. Yeah. My belief around it is like, faith it till you make it, in a way where believe in like trying to achieve it. So, in a way of manifesting it.
Yeah. What
But
is manifesting according to you? Now, it's such an overused term, actually. I don't have a
exactly.
problem with the term. I have the problem with a bit of the overuse of the term. So I'm going to ask you what that means exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's even I think I have a problem with it being
Yeah.
overused. But what I feel like what I have done over time is believe in a concept. So if I believe in friendship being a certain way, where I invest in the good times and the bad times, I am thinking that, I'm feeling that, I'm showing that because I believe it. I might not have seen the results of it yet, but I'm approaching it with that belief.
Right.
Maybe I've not seen the byproduct. So that for me is manifesting. So even it comes in different aspects of life. It could be with mental health, it could be with friendship, it could be with romantic relationships. And in some places, I have seen the principles, whichever I've believed in, have worked out. And the ones that haven't, I feel like my journey in that has not yet, like I have not completed that journey, or I have not learned the lessons of that journey.
Sure.
So that's why the manifestation has not yet happened. And I don't feel like I constantly, consciously manifest all the time.
Yeah.
It's a principle, it's like a belief.
Yeah, I think we do manifest all the time, but I have a slightly different understanding of the word today.
Yeah.
I know that the word became very popular with a lot of
Secret,
self-help
yeah.
and The Secret and things like that. And then a lot, it became a very polarizing word itself. Like it can really divide a room, when you use the word manifest. But I kind of see it very simply, right? So people who kind of like to look at these things in a more mundane way, they sort of tend to go towards those words like you believe it and you see it and all of that stuff. That's fine. That's great for a simple brain, right? That I just thought it and I believed it and it showed up. And it does, right? It just doesn't work for a complex brain. I'm not saying stupid and intelligent. I'm saying simple and complex, right? So I think that when you decide on something, right? Like when you have decided to see signs of something, or say that you decide that you want to do something, here is where your concept of faith, I think, becomes really important. You believe it. You really, really believe it is going to happen, or you really, really believe it's not going to happen for you. Your brain is going to take those decisions to make those things happen.
Like the
right?
bias situation.
Exactly. So you might say, like, I moved to Bombay to become an actor, but I had very little faith in myself at that time because the world around didn't help me. It didn't help affirm that faith in me. So I was looking for that, external validation. But I don't think I entirely bought it, right? So while I made the big move and I came here, somewhere I was always trying to kind of hide and hold back because somewhere I didn't really believe it. So I made all those big decisions. I got here. I was going for the auditions. I was doing all the work and all of that. But when I say went to a screening or a meeting or something, I would actually try and recede because I felt embarrassed. I was looking at people who were out there and networking and putting themselves in ways that I found kind of distasteful, and I judged that. And then I decided that I am not that person. So in some ways, I started to try and recede. And that was not something, that was a conflict, for example, that did not work because here you are trying to show up, but then while you're showing up, you're also trying to hide. So that manifests
Yeah.
because you hold back, you try to find ways to not make something happen, even though externally you're here.
Yeah.
You're here by because you want this to happen. So I think the brain is always taking those decisions, like my mom does something. She told me about this thing, and I think I saw it on that Bollywood Wives show also. At this, one of the ladies said something about I do Fatimas,
I saw
and
Bollywood Wives. I didn't see this.
yeah, I just got it right
Okay.
because my mom had just told me about this, that if something gets lost, then there's this sort of like old wives kind of like hack where you ask for it, you ask the universe for it, you clap your hands, and then you have to read this Bibi Fatima ki kahani, right?
Oh.
And I think that's what it meant. I think that's what they were talking about. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is that you do that and then you find the thing,
Hmm.
right? Now something very interesting happened. I lost a ring.
Okay.
And I'm
Recently.
and I'm in I'm back home,
Hmm.
and I'm
Back
very
home in
convinced
Delhi.
back home in Delhi,
Delhi,
and I'm very convinced that this ring is in my mother's safe, and I'm like, it has to be with you because I have very few places in my house in Bombay. It's very small where it could be, and she's like, I don't think it's here, and this ring has gone back and forth between us a few times. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, it's gone back and forth between us a few times. So just on a lark, right, we decided to do this thing, right?
So you're just trying it out.
Just trying it out, like why not? We were just sort of messing around, and we looked in the safe and it's not there. So we're like, it didn't work. But the next day, my cook back home here in Bombay tells me that she has found it.
Shut up.
Yeah. Now, how? Now, I also obviously put my jewelry inside a safe at home and all of that. But there is a sort of like an altar, a chest of drawers I have out in the living room. With the monsoon, those drawers had sort of expanded and the wood had become, very plump and they weren't opening properly. So in my absence, I'd asked her to call a carpenter to file the drawers so that they can, move easily. She found the ring in those drawers. Now, when I asked her to do this was post our clapping, and I just sort of like putting it out there or whatever. And
You found
there
it.
was no reason for that ring to have been there, honestly. It's just that my safe had stopped working, so I had put it away over there, and I obviously forgot. And it never occurred to me to look over there because I just wouldn't have put jewelry over there.
You usually don't keep it there.
Exactly. It's in the living room. It's kind of out. It's just that the safe wasn't working, so I must have put it away. I don't even remember. But now I wonder that was there something in my brain that obviously stored that information and now decided to search for that information. So asked Deepa to go and file those drawers. Now it's not happening very directly. It's happening extremely indirectly.
Subconsciously?
But there's so much of our brain that we don't use, right? So somewhere me telling her that, hey, listen, get these drawers please fixed in my absence because I just wanted it done. And she didn't have much work to do since I wasn't there. And it happened. So now just what are the odds, right? Now, I don't think this is magic. I think this is some kind of
But I don't think
neuroscience.
Yeah,
you know,
but that I think
or maybe they're all the same, right? I mean, is there really anything as magic?
Yeah.
It's usually, well, I remember the first time I heard that magic was just, sleight of hand.
Yeah.
But we see it as that, right? So when you put that emotional component of things and that fantastical component, it's magic. It's just that it happened really fast.
Yeah.
So
I don't believe that. I don't think I believe that manifestation is magic in any way. I actually do believe very similarly. Like if I want something, that I want to be sitting on a podcast today in Bombay, podcasting with Eisha Chopra.
well, yeah, you made that happen.
I made that
you
happen.
took all the relevant steps in order to make that happen, right?
Yes.
And
But
you met me at the writing workshop and you asked me,
Yeah.
and I showed up.
Yeah.
Right. And if I had not shown up, you wouldn't be sitting here and say, oh shit, I did not manifest Eisha Chopra sitting on my podcast. You'd move on.
Yeah, and
know?
but it'll happen later if it has to happen.
Yeah, but it's just that when it happens is when we sort of really kind of take note of these things.
Yeah.
But I think what we need to take note of the fact is that we are making it happen. We are taking those choices to make those things happen. That is manifestation for the complex brain. Is to just recognize that,
The steps.
yes, you do have to kind of put an intent out there, but the brain does so much back work for you. It's like there's something happening behind the scenes, and it's behind the scenes for us as well.
Yes.
But we are taking those decisions to make those things happen.
100%.
Again, the simple brain says, I want to make this happen. I made it happen. The complex brain really wants to understand. What did I do? What exactly happened? We
How
like
do
to
I
analyze
replicate
that.
this formula again? How do I tell
Yeah.
everyone about it?
Yeah. So, I'm very left brain as an individual. I'm extremely left brain, but I'm very right hearted. So I do believe in that magic. I do actually really resonate with the idea of faith. I have a lot of faith. If the world was divided into skeptics and believers, I have no doubt of where I will be, where I know I have always been, and where I will remain.
Yeah.
Right. But I like thinking. It's fun.
It is fun.
And I like to question those beliefs. I like to challenge it. I could talk to you about reincarnation and past life regression, which is a highly abstract concept, it will
Yeah.
never have proof. We will never have proof.
We will not.